The views of the guest are that of the guests and do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutmen channel, the Recruiter Call channel, nor its host. This site content is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in this episode, man, we got another Western Express former driver. In this situation that he was in, he was let go by an issue with a female.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Trainers and trainees, I talked about this plenty of times on the channel. Majority of the time, these companies can't provide adequate training for people that's coming into the industry. Whether it's a female trainee looking for a female trainer or a male trainer being in a situation with a female trainee. Now, I know some companies, they have their gender specifics, right? Some females just don't care. They just want to get in, get their experience, get their trucks, and get down the road. So whether it's a female or a male trainer, it doesn't matter to them. But some male trainers, a lot of them, have issues with female trainees. So some of these female trainees are getting the truck with them. And in the beginning, it should be all right, but it turns a little bit to the left. Shout out to my man, Jamar Gary. Definitely go over to his YouTube channel and check him out and let him know that Lockoutmen sent you. Let's hear his story on how he was fired from Western Express.
No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Hold on!
What's going on YouTube? A lot of y'all been hitting me up asking about a follow-up video, like, yo, where's the follow-up video about Western Express and this, that, and the third? On YouTube, I'm getting straight to the point. I became a trainer, like I told y'all in my last video. My first trainee, female, recommended by somebody to work at Western, like, cool dude or whatever. He didn't recommend her, but he just said, hey, I know somebody that need a trainer. And long story short, didn't work out. And like, I didn't really keep it as professional, not in no funny stuff, no funny business, nothing like that. But it didn't work out. I ended up losing my job over some hearsay, and I'm not trying to go like too deep into details for like obvious reasons, but long story short, they asked me out real quick. So my first week being a trainer, I ended up losing my job. Think twice before you take a female. And I'm not saying all females are bad, but think twice. And a lot of the guys, it's like, yeah, we don't take females. And it's for a good reason.
Well, this reasons for not taking a female trainee is it could be due to a lot. It could be due to personal preferences, could be because of personality clashes, all sorts of things. Listening to his story and reading the comments, one of the commenters kind of mentioned the fact that this guy, this trainer, was trying to make the moves on the female trainee, and that's why everything turned to shit. But as he says in the continuing story and in this comment response, he said it's the wrong idea. He said he's there for making sure that these trainees get the information and the understanding and how to perceive the Western Express way, right? So he wasn't there for nothing else. He's not there to try to make a love connection, not there to do anything but to make sure that this female driver gets what she needs so that she can go ahead and be a successful truck driver. And I kind of agree with him, but I know there is some sloppy male trainers. They obviously think that their truck is a love connection when they get a female trainee on their truck. Their whole agenda is about getting in their pants versus getting them out on the road.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound like a male chauvinist. I love women, like I love building my women up, but at the end of the day, like it's not always a good fit. So long story short, it didn't work out. Things went astray, but I lost my job. I still got my CDLs. I ended up going to another company like just recently. I went like 3 weeks without a job, and that's part of the reason why I went without posting a video. Like I was trying to get myself back straight. So if you're gonna be training, team driving, whatever, just be careful who you're doing with. Whether it's female, male, just be careful, man. Just be careful. People like will put stuff on you, say stuff, like especially if you got kids to feed. Like just be careful, man. Like
gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You gotta put yourself first. You gotta put your responsibilities first. If that that you're responsible for your family, for your upkeep and stuff like that, then you got to make sure that you have the mindset in doing that. Getting involved with people at the workplace can turn ugly quickly. Whether you're a co-worker, team driver, or a trainee, you need to put all of that stuff aside and concentrate on what you guys have in front of you, and that is to do the job. That's about it. That's why me personally, when I trained the first time with US Express, I knew I didn't like it. I backed out and I went back out solo. I'd rather do bad all by myself. I wouldn't, this truck is too small, too cramped to be teaming with somebody, and the space that we're in is hostile. I don't need that. I don't need that at all. That's why I never went with a company that force you to team like Covenant. Covenant forces you to team drive. When you're driving, when you drive training, they force you to team drive. Yeah, that's why I never went with companies like Covenant. So again, drivers, take this as a lesson. If you're a trainer or a co-driver, the job is the job, okay? And the job is trucking, not a love connection, okay? Now, I said plenty of times before, if I was to team, I would rather team with a female, but my mindset is on making sure that I'm getting to the money and I'm making sure that my responsibilities is intact. And that is concentrating on making sure that my family is well taken care of and not putting that in jeopardy because I have a fine looking female sitting next to me or in the back.
I had to really reevaluate life and really think and like catch myself before I did something stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Just be careful out here. Long story short, getting back to like specifics, I still don't have no envy towards Western Express. It was a very good experience and I was in position to make it no less than probably $1,750 or $2,200, somewhere in that range. And things, you know, went astray. I'm not mad, I'm not bitter. I'm not gonna sit here and bash Western Express. I still would tell people like to go there, especially if you have that vision, that goal to become a trainer, you know.
Western Express, to my understanding, as I'm reading more and more about Western Express, a lot of the drivers that I came across, especially new drivers that only have like 6 months of experience, like the one driver from TikTok, he got with Western Express. He wasn't with them for no more than like 6 months, and then he became a trainer. It's like, what's going on over there? And if you're going to be a trainer, I'd rather for a company to look for a trainer to have at least a year to a year and a half experience training. Because if you only got 6 months or less, and you're brand new to the industry, like you just literally got your CDL as well, you're the blind leading the blind, bro. What am I going to teach you that I'm still learning myself? And I never understood that with some of these starter companies, Western Express, US Express, Swift, and other companies like that. Because when I was with US Express, I was in my 6th month when they started asking me to train. I took on my first trainee when I was after a year. And then that didn't work out so hot. I went back and told them, yeah, take me off the list and keep me solo. I knew it wasn't going to work for me. It may work for some people because when you get into training, the thing about training is that you have to want to train these people. You're going to have the patience. You're going to have to be with somebody that's inexperienced and put your life in their hands. A lot of you can't do that. A lot of you get finagled into training all because of the money. And lots of times when it's all about the money, it's not you trying to train this other person. You see, some trainers at some companies like Prime, Swift, US Express, and others, they're really out there just caring for their own personal needs and nothing more, right? You take on the responsibility of training somebody. You take on the responsibility of another human being to a certain extent. You need to be considerate. You need to be patient. You need to have the confidence in that person. Nowadays, all trainer does is sit there and just collect the money off of you driving because you get paid a certain amount, right? But the trainer gets paid all your miles. That's all the time spent in your trucks. Sometimes you end up with a trainer that just don't care about hygiene. Sometimes you end up with a trainer that just don't care about the looks of the trucks. Sometimes you get with an irate trainer. Sometimes you get with a trainer that just don't know what the hell he's doing. But don't get me wrong, there are some good trainers out there, and then there are some bad trainees. Trainees that just don't listen. Trainees think that they know more than what the trainer is telling them. Trainees that that sits back in the back bunk with the curtains drawn with a little crack, recording you up there doing what you doing. That's crazy. But when it comes down to it, whether it's a male or a female, you just gotta make sure, okay? Make sure that when you get into training and the person who you training should be a good fit for the both of you, man.